previous administration had, in my opinion, the best opportunity in recent history to remove the subsidy in the least chaotic manner possible. And that was in the fourth quarter of 2015. That administration came in May 29, 2015. And there was so much excitement at the time, so much hype and all that. And fuel subsidy was one of the burning points. If you remember, towards the middle and end of 2015, all prices had started declining. Now, by October 2015, I remember this date specifically because I was one of those that wrote that paper. By October 2015, it was possible to import fuel at the same cost at the pump price.
No way.
As at October 2015. And so the paper
the same price as a pump price?
Yes. So there was no subsidy. Now, there are a lot of taxes on fuel and all that. I said, look, it is possible to bring in fuel because the price of crude was going down. I said, if you remove fuel subsidy now being the fourth quarter of 2015, you can drop the pump price by 10, 20, 50 kobo. And so we're removing subsidy, fuel price is going down. There is no way NLC can strike because price has gone down. There is no way anybody is going to complain about that because price was going down. And we said the condition would be at the time, empower PPPRA, the Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Authority at the time. To make it clear the correlation between the pump price of fuel and international crude prices, so that if crude prices start rising, everybody knows this is how the fuel price will adjust. And we said, don't do it in October or November. Do it in December, not in October or November, because naturally now prices go up in December because of Christmas and all that. So we said, let's take the hit once and for all if there's anything. If prices are going up for Christmas, remove subsidy, even though the price will come down. Now, obviously, they didn't listen to that. And what they opted for instead, and if Nigerians remember, that administration at that time came up with this weird term called over-recovery. Over-recovery was basically the fact that the landing cost of petrol was lower than the pump price. And so that difference was what the NNPC at the time called over-recovery. Kind of, for lack of a better explanation, maybe like, okay, let's save the money and use it for something else. But that was the golden opportunity to remove subsidy. That was the golden opportunity, and they didn't. So back to your question as to what could the previous administration have done better? Once they missed the 2015 opportunity, that was it. We were sunk. Now, have they done enough for this administration? I think, in my opinion, they should. Obviously, because of the elections in February, March, it was. I imagine that it was part of the consideration. If you remove it now, there may be so much anger against the ruling party that they would lose and all that. But I think they should have taken that pain off the incoming administration and done it. If they like, do it in April. If they like, do it in May. But basically, do it at a time so that this administration comes in and says it's already done. Removing it on a forward date is it's a psychological disaster.
It's almost looking like this new government will have no other choice other than to ask for more time to pay the subsidy pending when things will be put in place. Can we afford that if that's the option that they have?
There's a lot, Sheriff, we cannot afford. There's a lot we cannot afford. The subsidy. Now, the second question, I thank God I remember, that you talked about NLC and all of that. And I like to be as objective as possible. And I'm not going to be rude or insolent. But I find it really awkward that over the last 8 years, Sheriff, a bag of rice has gone from 70,000 to 50,000. The dollar rate has gone from 160 something to, at least according to CBN as at yesterday, 600 and something. The price of pure water has gone up. The price of cars have gone up. The price of noodles has gone up. The price of palm oil has gone up. The price of transportation has gone up. Price of everything has gone up. NLC and consumers and bus drivers and bank managers don't seem to have a problem with the cost of their food going up, with the cost of their rent going up, with the cost of living going up. But when it comes to petrol, everybody's antenna goes up. And I'm like, why? Price of bread has gone up. Price of water has gone up. Your rent has gone up. Price of your phone has gone up. Price of your computer. Every single human being in this country, price of plantain has gone up. I mean, every single human being in this country. We see inflation rate at what, 22%? NLC doesn't seem to think that's a problem until it touches fuel. The price of diesel has gone up. When this administration came in, I was buying diesel at 160, 170 naira per liter. It went up as high as 880. Yesterday it was down to 590, 600. Yeah, but the price of tickets. I mean, what?
Just mention one thing.
What has in the last 8 years? What has not at least doubled in the last 8 years? But somehow, the NLC only seems to think they have a job when we're talking petrol. I think they are being disingenuous, and I think we as a people are being unfair to ourselves. The price of petrol has nothing to do, well, not nothing, has very little to do with the consumption patterns of Nigerians compared to bread, water, rice, beans, gari, noodles, staple foods. Nothing. So why are we so adamant? And the petrol, in my opinion, more than 60% of whatever we say we consume as petrol subsidy is being stolen. Why are we fighting that thieves continue to enrich themselves at our expense? Why? To me, it doesn't really make any sense at all. I understand that it's going to create pain. However, let's also understand something. Nigerians are largely, especially transporters, let me lay it down to transporters, exploitative. And if you do the math, if you have a bus, a downfall bus, right, takes how many passengers? 16.
About.
And Ikeja to CMS, for argument's sake, I don't know how much they charge, 500 naira?
Maybe.
Okay. Now, Ikeja to CMS is a 25-kilometer journey. No matter how fuel inefficient their buses are, it will not consume more than 1 liter for a 5-kilometer journey. That's highly inefficient for an engine. Or let's even say 3 kilometers. All right. So in that journey, they will consume 10 liters of fuel. 10 liters of fuel, as such, before this chaos was, let's even call it 2,000 naira. You're carrying 16 passengers, each paying 500 naira. So on 2,000 naira fuel trip, you are charging 8,000 naira. Okay? Your 2,000 naira fuel trip doubles to 4,000 naira. But if you don't change your price, you are still charging 8,000 naira for a 4,000 trip, which isn't bad. But they will then double it. But that differential price is 2,000 naira on 16 passengers. So the price difference, if you double the price of fuel today, is 100 naira per passenger. So that 500 naira trip should reasonably move to 600 naira. But they won't do that. They'll move it from 500 to 1,000 and tell you the price of fuel has doubled, therefore your fare should have doubled. It doesn't work like that. So they too are being exploitative. Then the person selling rice, who moved the rice from market A to market B in a diesel truck, will tell you the price of petrol has gone up, therefore rice has gone up. The person who moved plantain from Benue to Lagos in a diesel truck will tell you the price of petrol has gone up. The luxurious bus carrying you from Lagos to wherever in a diesel car will tell you the price of petrol. So we are also very exploitative and we're wicked to each other. But we need to understand the whole thing holistically. The country as a country is bleeding not because we must, but because a few people are siphoning our commonwealth. One, those people siphoning our commonwealth, the incoming government must bring them to book to restore confidence in the people. And of course, subsidies, as far as I'm concerned, the way it has been removed, in my opinion, was probably the worst way possible. It should be removed, there's no doubt about that. But it could have been done in a way to minimize the pain of the people. Now, as I was coming, the petrol queues, and let's think about it. This happened on Monday. You can't reasonably tell me that between Monday and Tuesday, all the
You are
petrol
out.
finished.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So this is clearly panic. Everybody is turning their water tank at home into a petrol tank, and they're going home and siphoning the fuel so that when the price goes up, they'll make a profit.